Trevor Lawrence by the end of this year, I think could be QB2.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let me take it away with
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC UPenn's finest, and Chris Coulter, CB Culture Boy. We have another great episode for you guys today. We'll be doing our NFL award predictions for the 2023-2024 season. That includes everything. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie, Defensive Rookie, Coach of the Year. We're going to be giving... I'm going to explain this now. We're not doing Comeback Player of the Year. Not only does that award stink, but we all know who's winning it. And
so I saw this. Damar Hamlin made the 53-man roster. He was a starting safety for them last year. No shit, he made the roster.
Well, yeah, I'll say he was filling in. Who was he filling in for? Poyer,
right?
Poyer, yeah, Poyer.
Yeah, so
still,
like, yeah,
he
it's
was
still
the second option.
I think people have become so numb to like what he's actually done that like, and like that jacket thing at the Super Bowl. Oh my God, people were killing him for that. But nonetheless, we're gonna swap that out with a most improved, which is basically what Geno Smith won last year. Because, like I said in the chat, Geno Smith didn't come back from anything. He just came back from not being good at football. So that's really a most improved. Then we're gonna talk, like I said, conference championships, Super Bowl prediction. And then we're also going to pick who's going to be the worst team in football, who's going to have the number one overall pick. I think we have a general idea of who that may be. Nonetheless, though, we always start with Summit Plummets. It doesn't matter. Rain, snow, sleet, don't matter. Always got to get our Summits Plummets in. I'm going to start, and the Summit this week is our guy, Chris, with the big 3-0. Bro, Steph Curry year. That's so crazy.
Surprise, it's my Dale Curry year.
It's your Dale Curry year, bro.
It's my Austin Eckler year.
It's really your Austin Reeves year. He old as hell.
Surprise. But yeah, that was my summit too, Tone, honestly. Just so I'll just piggyback off you. That was my summit. I turned 30 on Sunday. It was really, really cool. I had a good time celebrating with my friends and my family and stuff. That was really cool. I got some really good gifts. My girlfriend got me tickets to go see Lamar versus hopefully Kyler Murray. Hope he's back and good and healthy in Arizona in October. So I'm looking forward to that. Got a Lamar jersey to wear to it. I only had like the other Ravens jersey I had was a Culture Boy jersey, like a custom. So it's cool to get a Lamar jersey to actually wear it.
That's heat. Yeah. That's heat though.
Oh yeah, it's lit. Low key, I'm gonna wear it during like when we start like week 1 football, like that episode. I'm gonna wear it on that one.
Yeah. We all gonna be decked out in a jersey week 1.
Yeah. That's my summit too. So
that's next week, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, next week, man.
Couple days.
It's soon. It is soon.
Football is
Danny,
back.
I would say, yeah, Danny, if you want to pick up on your summit, if that is your summit, football being back. But
my summit is Bryce motherfucking Harper, dude. I sent Tony a stat. He is 1 home run away from 300 home runs. We're going to the game tomorrow.
He's getting it tomorrow. Trust. He's getting it tomorrow when we're there.
On top of that, his last week, he's batting .560. The Angels have intentionally walked him 2 times in the series. And the second time, I told Tony this yesterday. He said, "Why do people intentionally walk?" I was like, "It's a respect thing. Like they're scared to throw to him." Today, Bohm hit a home run after they walked him. I said, "That's really like you gonna put me there? I'm gonna fuck you over and hit a home run."
That's the icing on the cake right there. Yep.
So, my plummet is Jordan fans being dumb. Let me read you this interaction. This dude made a tweet talking about comparing LeBron and MJ at age 34. Stats are comparable. Well, no, LeBron's stats are better. But LeBron didn't make the playoffs a year. He had the worst injury of his career. He had the groin injury. So it says like LeBron playoffs error 404 data not found, whatever. Thought that was pretty funny, but of course without context. And so I commented, I was like, okay, how about their age 35 season where one of them didn't even play the sport and the other one won the NBA finals? And this dude came at me. He was like, because I was comparing games played and all that, and like LeBron was in year 17. He was like, sitting out games definitely helps with longevity, just so you know. I said LeBron has had 12 seasons of 75 plus games. And I know the norm used to just be 82, but in today's era with the spacing and everything, the fact that he's played 75 games 12 times is great. And 3 times he didn't do it. One was a lockout, one was COVID, and the other he suffered the worst injury of his career. Then he said that he's seen LeBron sit out, like he's seen him like load manage. But you just said that load management is a part of playing longer. So, and then he said Kobe and MJ would never. First of all, I watched Kobe those last 4 years at the Lakers. I know load managing when I see it. That's one. Two, that's openly admitting that LeBron's a smarter player than them. He knows he wants to play longer, so he's going to sit out these meaningless games where his ankle's bothering him Monday night on League Pass against Charlotte, like Jason Tatum would say. So it just doesn't make sense. So I replied to him like, you are like basically saying you're smarter. And his reply to that was, not playing in games used to be frowned upon, but LeBron made it cool. LeBron didn't make it cool. Greg Popovich made it cool. The first time you've ever seen load managing was Tim Duncan. Reason? Old. That is what started load management, not LeBron. Like, it doesn't make sense. Load management is a smart thing, and if you don't like it, you don't get it. Like, I'm convinced a lot of NBA fans don't like things because they don't understand them.
Or they're not really fans of a team for real. They're just fans of a player. So
Exactly.
like when Pop did it, it started with Tim Duncan, and then Ginobili started sitting games, then Tony Parker started sitting games. But it only made sense because they were older. But if you were a Spurs fan, you understood that because you were a fan of the dynasty, fan of keeping it together, blah 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 blah. It's like now it's more people get attached to players, not understand why, but it's harder for a person to understand why is my favorite player sitting out this night. It doesn't really make sense, but it really just like speaks to the casual and most fans of the sport for real.
Yeah, that's why. I don't know. I don't get that.
Well, my plummet, I'll go with my plummet. My plummet is that I am sad that I'm finally realizing that the Las Vegas Aces don't know how to play basketball against a good team. It's terrifying watching them play the Liberty every time because it's almost like they forget how to play the sport. And it blows my mind. Like they'll win 3 in a row. They put a Liberty, lose by 15 plus. I'm like, what? Is Jonquel Jones the Ben Wallace to Asia Wilson? Shaq? Is that who she is? Who is this? But yeah, that's my plummet because they can't win the game, and I always do the full and bet responsibly because I'm 21 plus. That the Aces will win against Liberty, and they just don't. So that's my plummet. L by me.
Derek,
Yeah.
you got your plummet out, right? Or did you?
No, I didn't get my plummet up. But my plummet is the artist named Aubrey Graham for not dropping his album like he said.
He never said he would.
It was leaked, but come on, dude.
Hey, Danny, you know what?
What is leaked? No, the cover art was put out, and then we believed people on Twitter. That ain't Drake's fault.
Yeah, the thing that saved me from getting tricked, I seen Yachty tweet that there was no real information out about For All the Dogs. I seen him tweet that like right after somebody said it was coming out. So I was like, all right, I trusted Yachty only because I feel like they closer than a random outlet. That's the only thing that
I'm gonna do a little semi L plummet of the week. It goes to the Indianapolis Colts for not giving in and trading their dog. That is abysmal, dude. Like, how are you not gonna trade him? Because at this point, the team's gonna get 12 games of Taylor, and be fucked over because you're not getting a full season of him. So you're going to get less value. They're just stupid. Indianapolis Colts, you made one good decision drafting Anthony Richardson, a million bad decisions after.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that.
Well, Colts ain't doing too much this year. They're doing a whole lot of, all right, fellas, let's go do our best. But nonetheless, man, got to get into these picks. Sorry, I had to reply to the dude, but I'm trying to keep it civil because being ignorant's in the past. But nonetheless, let's actually talk about some football. MVP last year, Patrick Mahomes ended up pulling away with the MVP award after Jalen Hurts suffered a bone bruise, I believe, in a shoulder. So he missed he missed 2 of the last 3 games of the season, which eventually cost him the MVP award. No biggie. I believe last year, I think I had Justin Herbert winning MVP. Unfortunately, his team was decimated. My man cannot put up the stats to, put on an MVP performance. Danny, I don't even remember who you had for
All right, Josh
MVP.
Allen.
You, Josh Allen. You know what I was gonna say when I came on here? Josh Allen's starting to be like Luka a little bit, where it's like every year, like he sees a really good pick to pick him for MVP, but he's just never gonna do it for one reason or another. Not necessarily his fault, or like Luka's fault, but like for just some reason there, it's a good pick, but just doesn't happen. Um, any of you guys want to go first? I mean,
I'll go
I'm
first.
down with it. Go ahead, man.
So my first person that I'm picking to win MVP of the 2023-2024 NFL season is Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I love this team. We've seen a quarterback with Doug Peterson in the second year into the system take a big leap in Carson Wentz. Same thing with Lawrence. This is his third year. He got his big target in Ridley. I think their offense is – the receiving core scares me flat out. They have 3 guys who all can run, who all can go catch the ball. You got a tight end that is somehow figured it out under Doug Peterson after not being able to catch a ball for the Giants and Evan Ingram. Their O-line looks solid. I think they got one of the steals of the draft and Tank Bigsby at running back, pairing him with Travis Etienne. This offense is going to put up – I think Lawrence is going to put up 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns.
Whew, that's like an all-timer type season.
I think Lawrence has it in him, dude.
Yeah, I like your reasoning too. I mean, second year under Doug Peterson, second year on an offense. He's got Calvin Ridley. He's got all the goods. And Trevor Lawrence was one of my top selections when thinking about this award. But I thought about it 2 ways here. One, I could take the easy way out and just pick Patrick Mahomes. And it's like I was like, oh, that'd be like going back to like 2012 and just being like, oh, I'm picking LeBron to win MVP because he wins it every year. But like Mahomes doesn't win it every year. He's got 2 early in his career, but I think I'm going to avoid that route. I'm going to go with the guy who just fell short of it and was going to win it if he didn't get hurt. I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts for my MVP. And with Jalen Hurts, he didn't have these like groundbreaking stats. Now, mind you, if he did play those 2 extra games, I'll give him like 3 extra touchdown passes. So he's got 25 touchdown passes. Maybe I'll give him an extra rushing touchdown. So I believe that puts him at 14 for the season, which is ridiculous for being responsible for almost 40 touchdowns. I believe I'll say Mahomes has done it because he had the 50 touchdown passes, and then Cam Newton did it when he had that 35 and 10 season. But with this offense has essentially, they lost no pieces. They lost Zach Pascal, love him to death, but it's not really moving the needle in terms of a drop off for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts getting another year in this offense. I think Brian Johnson is actually going to unlock another level in Jalen Hurts that, not saying Shane Steichen couldn't, but I think Brian Johnson is a really good QB guru. So yeah, I think barring health, which I think I can buy into that, Jalen Hurts is going to be my MVP. I'm swinging on to Chris for his MVP selection.
Dang, it's gonna sound biased now because you just took your guy. I'm 100% taking mine, and I'm gonna tell you why.
That's fine. Hey, it's fine.
This is Lamar Jackson's MVP year. I said it last year. This is what second MVP year. This is the one, and I said why. We have Will Reppins now on the team, like actual football players who can catch a ball after doing a 5 to 6 yard route. Like I promise you, we have them on the team now. So at the end of the day, I just think he got paid, and I think just the team's going to help him a lot as far as a lot of people having a lot to prove. Like, that's really what it's going to be. So I feel like you'll get a big year out of Odell. You'll get Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews. You're going to get what you're going to get. But I think that running back room is going to try to prove, because it's time for a couple of them to try to earn some money, try to get paid as well. So I know that's going to be a big deal. I think our defense is really, really good. If, like I said before, if Odafe takes that leap, like I hope he will, Jadeveon Clowney can help with that a little bit. I know that might be a little weird of a parent to help, but I think they can really, really help. And I think that'll be to the team's success. And I think Lamar will do what he has to do as far as stats-wise on offense. I can see a 50 touchdown season for him, not necessarily 40 and 10, but like 35 and 15. Because I feel he's going to be really aggressive this year when he has the time. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like this year I think he has something to prove this year. I really do. Because like I said, I know I've been following him on Instagram since he's at Louisville. So him being drafted to my team was great. But like back then, like he was always real cryptic with his messages, like not really saying much, just being geared towards the season. I think he's back to that vibe of like not really talking a lot, really trying to go show and prove. So I think this is my boy Lamar's MVP season for sure.
Yeah, I like both y'all picks, and people in the comments gonna be like, "Oh, of course Tony picked Jalen Hurts," but everyone just said, y'all saw me say, I really should just go with Patrick Mahomes because that's how I really feel. But I think this.
I like Danny's pick too.
I love Danny's pick.
I like Danny's
and
pick.
What I was gonna say about y'all pick, I truly think if if Trevor and Lamar both have spectacular seasons, I truly just think whoever finishes higher in the standings could end up getting it. I think both
And
of these teams have
another reason that I chose that is the Jaguars play in such a bad division that I was like,
oh yeah, they're gonna eat that up.
They're gonna eat it up. The Ravens play the North, where it's
if the Ravens eat up the North, then if the Ravens eat up the North, they're gonna eat up the rest of their schedule. So like, yeah, I mean, and Lamar. And same deal like what I said with Hurts. Lamar, barring health, yes, he can win an MVP. Barring health, this is a top 5 quarterback in the league. Like even without it, he's still arguably top five to many.
Chill. Desmond Ridder better.
Noof, Sam Howell. We'll talk. Well, we're not going to, but maybe we could in the most improved section. We could talk about those second-year QBs. But just like in the NBA, if a second-year player wins most improved, that's dumb because like they're supposed to they're supposed to get better. But yeah, I love all our MVP picks. I really like Danny's because I want to know Trevor Lawrence by the end of this year. I think could be QB2. I think people could look at him QB2 by the end of this year. If seeing what he did last year, building off of it, knowing that Christian Kirk is a flat out good receiver. Like Danny said, Evan Ingram's figured it out, which I think he's always had the goods. It's literally just catching the ball. Like I like the way he moves for a tight end. And then you add Calvin Ridley to the mix. I like it. Same thing like with the Ravens offense, got weapons. Mark Andrews doing his thing. Defense is going to be solid. New offensive coordinator. It's going to be awesome.
And speaking of Ravens, sayonara to my boy James Prochet. I know he got cut today. Hey, he hasn't done much for the Ravens, but I mean, I just liked him as a draft pick. I was hoping
he'd been there, dude.
He was there for a long time, so sayonara to him. I know he got cut today. I'm almost sure he got cut today.
Yeah. Another sayonara to my boy Zach Gentry, 6'8" tight end.
Yeah, a lot of our favorite preseason guys getting cut today. Like mine was Trey Sermon, but like, hey, someone in that running back room had to get cut. So
they're just freeing space for Jonathan Taylor in 4 weeks, too.
True. Fact. All right, so we're gonna move on to Offensive Player of the Year, and what this award really means is best player in the league that's not a quarterback. Best offensive player in the league that's not a quarterback. Because me personally, I think the last 2 years, I truly believe that Justin Jefferson was the most valuable player. And before that, I thought Cooper Kupp was the most valuable player. But nobody's going to see that way of thinking. Offensive Player of the Year. Danny went first, and then me, then Chris. So we're going to have Chris go first. And like serpentine draft this thing.
Uh-oh. This might be a bad one, y'all. Hold on to your shoes. No, I'm kidding. I think the Offensive Player of the Year this year is Jamar Chase. No, it sounds random, but I think Jamar Chase is the Offensive Player of the Year this year because I think Joe Burrow's going to lead on him even more than he already does, which I mean doesn't even sound real, but I think he will. I think T. Higgins takes a step back, and I love T. Higgins. I was hoping to God somebody wrestled him away from the Bengals so we have to deal with this dude. But I think Jamar Chase is his year because I know Justin Jefferson's been he's been better than Jamar Chase, obviously. But I think this is going to be Jamar's year to like kind of match that Justin Jefferson production. If it's any year, I think it's this year. I think Mixon takes a step back. I like Joe Mixon too, but I think he takes a step back. And I think Jamar Chase kind of takes over and kind of helps carry the offense with Joe Burrow. So I think he can win Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I remember before last season, I think I said Jamar Chase was I had him as I think the third best receiver in football, third or fourth. It was something like that. But
I
I
had him
like
as
his
second.
upside.
Didn't I?
Mm,
No, I had
no,
third.
you
I had
had
three.
no,
I had three.
no, you had Adams ahead of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Chase could. Yeah, I could see Jamar Chase a world where he wins Offensive Player of the Year. He's so dynamic with the ball in his hands. His rookie year, like winding down the end of his rookie year, like that last regular season Chiefs game and the
Elite.
playoff
Special.
run, where like people were like, "Yo, like this dude might be the best in football." But I was like Jamar Chase just brings or Justin Jefferson brings just a little bit more to the table, so I can't give Chase the best in the league title just yet. But I do like that pick, showing love to the rivals. Offensive Player of the Year for me. Y'all, yeah, I'm just gonna go clean sweep. Every pick's gonna be Eagles. Nah. But I'll say I kind of wish I did stamp Mahomes because I do think AJ Brown has a real good shot to win Offensive Player of the Year. But we're not gonna go in that direction. I want to head over to the AFC West, and I'm gonna pick Travis Kelce. And I know at some point he's gonna decline, but I don't think it's this year because
Dude,
this receiver room is even worse than it is last year. So he's gonna get even more love from Mahomes. So I'm gonna stamp Travis Kelce,
he's half Eagle.
Offensive Player of the Year.
He's half Eagle. Doesn't count.
Yeah, he might maybe he'll don the green and black one day, but near the end of that career. But Travis Kelce's my pick for Offensive Player of the Year. I think due to that receiving room being even worse than it was last year, he's going to get more touches. Again, he's Mahomes' best friend. They're just gonna essentially replicate what they've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years, his entire career in Kansas City. I don't see the drop off just yet. And the Chiefs can't afford him to drop off necessarily. So that's my pick. Denny?
Yeah, my pick for Offensive Player of the Year. This dude has been running, scoring touchdowns on an offense that didn't really have receivers for such a long time, and now they have massage parlor quarterback at quarterback. Nick Chubb is my pick for Offensive Player of the Year. This man doesn't have Kareem Hunt to take his catches away from him anymore. He's going to get these carries. He's going to get a lot more leaned on, and we all know he's the best pure runner in the NFL.
Pure run, yeah. But aesthetically, nobody runs better than Kamara.
I'm about to say that, dude. Kamara,
Dude, Kamara
he run like he's jogging.
Yeah, dude got the
Yeah,
best sprint ever. Yeah, his sprint's like
he be sprinting and it just looked like he watching the whole field in slow
Literally.
motion, dude.
Yeah, dude is
I love
different.
it. But yeah, I love all our picks, and we all have different positions technically, but and we all stayed AFC on this one, which is very interesting. I mean, Justin Jefferson could easily repeat this, but we're trying not to be boring here. We're trying not to pick the overwhelming favorites in each of these. I love Danny's Nick Chubb pick. I love the Jamar Chase pick. So many, like a lot of people in the AFC North could just win this award, but and Kelce. I don't know. I don't think he's won one before, so I mean, I think now would be a good time because your team will need it. And
Yeah,
not dark horse for this. I think CeeDee Lamb also has a pretty good shot, in my opinion. But nonetheless, we can move on.
Defensive Player of the Year. I'll get kicked off.
Go ahead, man.
Call me biased all you want.
You're biased.
When TJ Watt is on the field, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a phenomenal football team. That man, last time he was healthy for a full season, had 22 and a half sacks. And he wasn't even healthy the whole season, 15 games. TJ Watt is a difference maker. He gets interception somehow at the end. He is what you call an X factor to the game. When he's on the field, they're a better team, and their offense plays better somehow. I don't know how that's possible, but how does the defensive end make your offense play better?
Gravity. Aura.
Literally.
Unexplainable things. But yeah, TJ's a good pick for anybody. And that's the thing, like when people get called bias or whatever, But when it just reality, they just know their team better than everyone else. Because like being biased is you saying like, oh, TJ Watt is so much better than Miles Garrett. Like Miles Garrett, this, and that sucks, whatever. But when you praise TJ Watt, it's more so like I just know more about him. So, it's a good
Being
pick.
biased would be calling for Nick Herbig to get defensive player of the year.
Nah, trust he's getting it though.
TJ Clone.
Yeah. So defensive player of the year. Who? Because it's kind of always just going to go to the dude who is the most sacks, and I really, really don't like that. Like to an extreme degree, I really don't like that.
I hate it actually.
Yeah, so do I. No, there are some years where like TJ had 22 and a half sacks. Yes, absolutely. But like Nick Bosa, like I get it, I guess, but I don't know. Someone that dark horse for that, a different Steeler, Minka Fitzpatrick, in my opinion. Definitely dark horse. But any safety,
Animal.
yeah, any safety is going to be like a real dark horse.
Derwin James.
Yeah, like I'm thinking Derwin James, but like no, I can't. I
Jamal
can't go
Adams.
in that direction.
He's back.
I'm gonna go with the third year pass rusher / drop back linebacker / middle linebacker / just Mr. Do It All. I'm gonna go with Micah Parsons.
My pick last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Micah Parsons. I think his value to that Dallas defense is crucial, and I really hope they're healthy this year, so that he can strictly just play outside linebacker, so he can edge the court edge rush. That was crazy. I'm hoping they're healthy so that Micah Parsons can come off the edge. He can go get the quarterback. He can build those sack numbers so that he looks like he has a good case to win the award, because he is up there with TJ Watt, up there with Miles Garrett as like tier 1 guys. But it's a matter of him actually being able to play the same position, because a lot of the times the Cowboys just need him to do anything else. Like, well, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm like, hey, run something from the slot for me, Mr. Parsons. And hey, I won't put it past him. I mean, he's one of the most versatile players in football. That's my pick. I'm going to bring it on over to Chris.
Yeah, kid's phenomenal actually, and that would have been my pick too. But I had 2 picks in my head, so since you picked Micah Parsons, I'm gonna pick my second pick. And I know it's a long shot. We just talked about how it's hard for secondary players to get this award, especially DBs, in my opinion. Yeah, Sauce is my guy. I think it's only a couple players who I think can really, really go and like expound a rookie year like he had, and like really go to the next level as quick as I think Sauce Gardner can. And I think he's going to get people to try him more, because I think a lot of people may think it was a fluke, maybe, if they're crazy. So I think Sauce will have more chance to get more interceptions like that, which I think is one thing he was missing last year, just more picks, just more, takeaways, I guess. I think he'll get more of those this year, still be locked down. So Sauce is my pick, and I feel like it's a long shot. But, I mean, I like the Jets this year. I love the Jets defense. I think they got some players over there. And I would like to see Sauce get it, so that's my pick, Sauce Gardner.
I think that's a great pick. I was thinking Sauce for a dark horse. I'm like, but like
they never get it,
man.
Yeah, they never get the award.
It's tough. Like I can't even, like, corners who've won Defensive Player of the Year. And Stephon Gilmore did it a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. I can't think of too many people outside of them. Like even Richard Sherman's,
I don't think Darrell Reeves ever got one, did he?
Not off the top of my head, I don't think so. And like even in Richard Sherman's like very dominant prime. Unfortunately, TJ Watt shared that same prime. So
if Ed Reed doesn't have one, then the award doesn't count and it's fake. Sorry.
Yeah, but like Danny, off the top of your head, does Troy have one?
Oh, Troy Palmer doesn't have one.
The award's just not built for secondary players, and it's not fair because Troy and Ed Reed are 2 of the most impactful secondary players of all time. But the award just isn't built for,
It's going to go to Bosa, Garrett, or Micah Parsons this year. Just get ready for it.
Nah, big trust. You want to know what it is? It's going to go to Patrick Queen.
But on a different team, I fear, because he's out of there. See you later.
You know who actually is a good shot? Roquan Smith.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to be a Raven again, because I think Roquan got a lot to prove too.
Ravens.
That's my
You're
thing.
gonna
I
go
think that's a lot
Lamar,
to do.
and then you're gonna go OBJ for offensive player of the year, and then Roquan for defensive player of the year, and then coach of the year John Harbaugh, and then offensive rookie Zay Flowers, and we're just go clean slate. Duh,
And
of
then if
course,
it's any kicker award, you know who's getting it.
throw that
Boy,
on a
Jake Up.
parlay.
Literally.
Nonetheless, we're gonna take a break from the players. We're gonna go to coach of the year, and I think this is gonna be very interesting because not all the time coach of the year is weird because it's either you have the best record and like, oh, we're accrediting you coach of the year because you have the best record by like if you go 14-3, you'll probably win it. But sometimes coach of the year is like you took this horrible team, the New York Giants, to a 9-win season and won them a playoff game. Brian Dable, you are the coach of the year. And that's not to say he didn't deserve it. 100% deserved it. He was awesome last year. Doug Peterson, kind of the same idea, even though he has an elite quarterback on his team, but same idea. Took a young squad to the playoffs. They won a playoff game. They gave the champs a run for their money, a pretty decent run for their money. So since Danny started this one, Chris has to start this one. I'm interested in your pick for coach of the year.
Yeah, Danny, you are the one who inspired this pick because you made me look at this team a lot closer, and I think I see the light, see where you're coming from. Coach of the year this year is Ron Rivera of the Washington Commanders because they are going to have a good year, and Danny says so. But yeah, I was just looking at them outside of quarterback, and Sam Howell's cool to me, so he's good in my book. Outside of quarterback, I don't really see a lot of holes like on their team for like. Of course, there's some, but like that defensive line is actually ridiculous. Like that's actually ridiculous, and a defense can carry a team a long way, especially in the NFL. It can get you 7 to 8 wins just off of being a really, really good defense. So I see them winning 10 games now. Like I said, after that one seg where we talked and Danny kind of went through and talked about him, I was like, yeah, I can take a look at him. Ron Rivera's coach of the year this year because the Commanders will have a better year than a lot of people think. So, yep.
I love that. I love that pick. And a lot of people, I feel like, especially a lot of Commander fans, are like, just like, Ron Rivera is not a good coach. And then somehow he gets teams to good spots. But like,
He just does it.
He might play a little bit more of that motivator role, and it's going to be a lot of Eric Bieniemy. But I like the pick, and I like Danny. Also, like I knew the Commanders were going to be low key underrated. Like until week 17 last year, they had a chance to make the playoffs. Week 17, they had a chance to clinch a playoff spot, but everything that was supposed to happen didn't happen, and they ended up getting eliminated same week. It was super rough. It's because they started Carson Wentz, but yeah, I like that pick. I'm on the table, and I got to pick a team, and I think I'm gonna go with Matt LaFleur for the Green Bay Packers. He's gonna have first-year starter Jordan Love. This team, it's kind of split. I will admit, a lot of people's like, "Oh, Jordan Love's gonna be bad. This team's not making the playoffs." A lot of people like this team could win the division, and I see the other way. I think the Packers have lots of potential. I think Matt LaFleur I think he is creative. It's just a matter of getting these young guys adapted. He's going to take this team to playoffs. They're not going to look special. They're not going to be like 13 wins, but like 9, 10 wins, win that division. I could see it happen. And I don't know. This is going to be his first year without Rodgers, so it's really going to be like, oh, are you really that guy? And I do think he's that guy. I mean, he's had 2 13-win seasons. Rodgers has won an MVP under him. They've made the conference championship game, and they lost because their offense just, they don't know, they just couldn't put it together. But I'm going to go Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, I was stuck between two coaches. One in Mike Vrabel, but I decided to go against the Titans just because their roster kind of concerns me. And I'm going to go with an ex-Eagle, DeMeco Ryans, in the Houston Texans. New coaching hire. I love their defense. I think Stingley is just as good as Sauce Gardner, and I think that's a hot take.
Stingley's tough, though. He is tough.
Stingley is.
I don't think it's too hot. I just think Stingley was in the wrong system last year. He didn't get to show it.
I agree with you there. He's not at his own corner. Let him line up with the ones. And I think DeMeco Ryans you saw what he did here until he ran to the Eagles, which they can't really do much. Their D line was shattered and their Warner was playing hurt. the Niners defense looked unstoppable. So some of it's personnel, some of it's scheme. You can't. D'Amico is a phenomenal coach.
Now let me ask you, how many wins do you have to get a head coach to like get a coach of the year nod? Just 5? I think
it's like it's wins like over expectation, like because I think a lot of people are expecting to win like 2 or 3 games.
Okay, so basically, in comparison to his expectations, he'll be your coach of the year, and I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at any of our picks. I think I think a lot of all 3 of these are like very, very unpopular. And I think all 3 of us went the route of like, oh, you're taking this unexpected team to do well, so that coach is going to get a lot of the credit. I like that route. I ain't mad at that route. Last year, we picked Doug Peterson as our coach of the year, like at the end of the year, even though he didn't win. I believe, Dable won it. But we're going to head back over to players, and we're going to talk about the offensive rookie of the year. Danny, you're on the clock with that one.
What kind of what do you put on hot dog?
Mustard, relish.
Bijan, honey Bijan. Bijan Robinson is going to win offensive rookie of the year. He's going to get 300 touches. Arthur Smith is just going to feed him the ball, dude. Remember the feed Zeke? No, it's going to be feed Bijan some chicken nuggets with honey mustard on them.
Bijan mustard. Bijan is he's one of the only rookies where I look at their situation and it's like Bijan doesn't have to be reliant on quarterback play or receiver play or like O-line play, yes, but like we already know this Falcons offense could be electric. And it can still be good whether or not Desmond Ridder is good because Bijan's going to be running the ball or he's catching it from the slot. Like maybe that is relying on Ridder, but yeah, that's quite the obvious pick. But I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson, and I think he's going to have that year 2-esque Jalen Hurts season. He ain't going to be the most prolific passer out the gate, but you know what he's going to do? He's going to run the crap out of the ball. He's going to run strong. I think he can notch 700 plus rushing yards. I think he can notch 7 plus rushing touchdowns to go along with okay passing numbers. Maybe like 61% completion percentage, if even that. 2,900 plus passing yards to go with maybe 16 plus passing touchdowns. We're looking at 23 total touchdowns as a rookie. That's pretty good. I don't expect him to be like rookie Cam Newton because that dude was different. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Anthony Richardson.
I like the pick, dude. I think Steichen was one of my options for coach of the year just because I think that he's going to lead them pretty far. But Anthony Richardson, I like that they threw him right in the system right away. And they're not Kenny picketing him.
Yeah. AR, like, that's another, like, and Anthony Richardson is prime example of what they should have done with Trey Lance because a guy who hasn't played that much football, yeah, you may think, oh, he's raw, let him learn. No, he's got to learn on the field because he still has to learn how to play the game. And it's a little different. Like some quarterbacks, yeah, they could use a year, but other guys just need to play. So, let's take Malik Willis for example. Like he played a lot of college ball. He just still wasn't ready. He needed to learn from a psychological standpoint on how to play the game, and now he looks a lot better. But like Trey Lance, between like high school and college, has like 500 snaps or like 500 dropbacks. I'm glad the Colts aren't making the same mistake with Anthony Richardson. They're just gonna throw him in the ring right away. Chris, without saying Zay Flowers. Nah, I'm sorry. Hey, if that's your pick, I ain't mad.
No, it's not. I wish. I don't think he'll get enough targets this year. I think next year will be Zay Flowers' breakout year. I think Bryce Young is the rookie of the year this year, offensive rookie of the year this year, and it's similar to the reason why you picked Anthony Richardson. I just think he'll have just a lot of opportunity to make plays. And at the end of the day, as offensive rookie of the year, you don't necessarily have to win. It's going to be more so about numbers. And then I think it goes to impact after that. I think he just has the ability just to do a lot because they're going to have him do a lot. Because I think he has, outside of Bijan being a running back, like I think he has the least of weapons, not named Anthony Richardson too. So I think you'll have to like make a lot of plays on the run, and then they'll be like that'll kind of roll over into more rushing yards. He'll probably take more risks because he has to, but end up with more passing touchdowns. So I think he just has a chance of just having that really high value. So yeah, that's my pick. That's really why I really like Anthony Richardson as rookie of the year too. But like I said, same reason, just high value. Yeah, I'd give the edge to Bryce Young.
Yeah, and I hope the NFL doesn't go in the direction that the 2022 NBA Rookie of the Year went. Me and Chris will both sit here right now and tell you of that class, Cade Cunningham was the best player. He
1,000%.
looked the best. His stats were the best, but it went to Scotty Barnes because he was the most impactful to his team's winning. This isn't MVP. This is one of the only awards where it's like, this is the best player.
Player to
So
player,
we'll just
yeah.
pick that. And just makes me so mad that Cade didn't get it. And honestly, I'm mad Jalen Green didn't get consideration because it was kind of like with Trey Young, where like his first half of the season was so bad, they didn't even pay attention to the second half of the year. But
And
we're gonna
NBA hates
keep-
Trey Young too, by the way. They do. Hate
Oh,
him.
NBA hates Trey. Dude, I saw him ranked like on like 13th amongst guards on someone's list. Miss me.
I know
Anyway.
we're talking about football, but he's 27-8 every year, not his rookie year. Like at the very least, he's 27-8 as a 5'11" point guard. He's also went past second round, I think once, or at least second round once or twice. He gets no love, and it's out of control. Sorry about that. I have to do my little
Yeah.
rant.
Well, one thing he doesn't do is play defense. And we're going to head over to the defensive rookie of the year, where, Chris, you are going to start with your selection for defensive rookie of the year.
One interlude real quick. I saw something on Facebook earlier. I had to pull it up. The Chiefs posted when Patrick Mahomes was drafted. It said, we've officially signed Patrick Mahomes. And someone posted the comments. The comments are insane. You're really screwed. Ha ha ha. Should have gotten Deshaun Watson. I know this isn't a popular opinion, but we gave up too much for a player who won't ever help us win.
I mean, I can maybe understand at the time about Watson. At the time, big Mitch hater, dude. I
never liked Mitch, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, who is Mitch? I didn't know who Mitch was.
Yeah, so he starts 10 college games. Oh, he has so much potential. Raw talent, untapped ability. Anthony Richardson plays 10 games. This dude can't see the field. He can't read a defense. What's being said without being said. But yeah, Chris, defensive rookie of the year.
I fear defensive rookie of the year is Jalen Carter. Sorry. He is the guy. And I think that work ethic BS. That was just to make him fall in the draft. I think that is BS. I like Jalen Carter a lot, and I think he's going to be very, very impactful on the Eagles' defensive line. And I think the Eagles' defensive line is just really versatile. I think Jalen Carter just adds to that. So I think he's going to be able to make so many just plays you didn't think he'd be able to make because he's going to just have the opportunity because the defense is as good as it is. So I think when he's in there, he can fall into 40 tackles and 4 sacks, like just fall into it on accident, just because of how good the defense is, in my opinion. So I think he's my pick for defensive rookie of the year.
He has a chance of getting 10 sacks, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was selling it short. I think he's gonna have a special year for sure.
Yeah, especially with a new defensive coordinator that might actually throw a blitz. If you're not running max protection, like if you don't keep your running back there to block, then you're going 5-on-5 with Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Hassan Reddick, and Nakobe Dean.
Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter is absolutely unreal. That's
now
unreal.
You know how the SEC felt. I love the pick of Carter. Jalen Carter, I think another thing where people will become like numb because, like, mind you, everyone had this dude as the best player in the draft. Everyone. I think I might have had Will Anderson, but I've seen the light. It's just like Will Anderson's a little too robotic for me. But regardless, it's tomato. But Jalen Carter, it's just like, wow, this dude. It's not only who he is, it's who he's playing with. He's playing with a dude who just had 15 and a half sacks, 18 sacks, including the postseason, Hassan Reddick. he's playing with Jordan Davis, who's one of the best, who's going to be one of the best run defenders in the NFL and was one of the most impactful ones last year. When he was out, I watched the Eagles get 200 rushing yards dumped on their dome because he wasn't playing. So I love the Carter pick. And it's really hard to like go in another direction. But I think I'm gonna go with Carter as well. I was thinking about maybe
Me three.
Weatherspoon or Gonzalez,
Me three.
but
Clean sweep.
are we all going Carter?
Yeah, I think Jalen Carter is best player in the draft this year. He is the best player on the Eagles' interior defensive line. Yeah.
Yeah, I think even if he reaches 80% of what people think he can be, he's gonna be special. Like that's
if he reaches 70%,
right? That's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna be special. So he was easily picked. That was nice.
If he reaches 70% of what people think he can be, he'll be what Fletcher Cox is right now.
Yeah, and Fletcher Cox, like that's the thing. Oh, man, it sucks because Fletcher Cox would have been the best interior defensive lineman of this decade if arguably him and Cam Hayward would have been those two if a guy named Aaron Donald didn't exist. But
Cam Hayward, actually
Jalen Carter. I mean, look, and I think a lot of people like, hey, if you like, if you like one of the corners, Gonzalez or Witherspoon or Joey Porter Jr., you just gotta remember it is very hard to win that award as a rookie. Like Sauce Gardner arguably came into the league and was right away the best corner in the league. Like that, it's just hard to do. Now, I don't have a banner up, but we are just going to transition into our most improved picks real quick before we get into conference championship, Super Bowl, and then worst pick. My most improved, and this is simply off of they weren't good and they're going to get better. I don't usually go first. Danny's supposed to go first. Danny, do you mind if I go first or
go first? All you
go first. All right, I'm cool with that. So, my, I guess most improved, I'm gonna go to Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, my reason for this being is, he's downplaying heavily in quarterback play, like heavily, big understatement. However, why I think he can win this most improved award, one, barring health. Two, with that upgrade at offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien over there in New England, he's going to be wide receiver one. Mac's going to rely on him a lot. I think Juju's going to be able to show off that big playability that he showed in year 2 in Pittsburgh. I don't know. Like, I think I think people should expect him to have a good year. Like, I know he wasn't this ground-breaking receiver last year, but I got high hopes for him. I think he's with a good offensive mastermind. I think he's with a solid QB. He's with Bill Belichick. I'm gonna go with Juju.
That's a good pick, man. My pick. My pick. It's kind of crazy. Kyle Pitts.
I should have said Kyle Pitts. Oh my God. Yeah, I should have said Pitts because, dude,
his potential is like the way people are always talking about Evan Ingram. His potential is so high. No, Kyle Pitts' potential is like Evan Ingram's, but like on crack.
On every steroid you can find. Like, this dude has the potential to be one of like the biggest offensive threats in the game. It's just a matter of staying healthy and a dude who can throw him the ball. And I learned firsthand Marcus Mariota can't do that.
Mariota can't. Ritter might be able to. You never know.
No, we will see. Well, Ritter never got to pair up with Pitts, but
Heineke can sling that thing though.
Yeah, he can play a little bit of ball. He can play a little bit of that Brett Favre action.
Well, I'm gonna say who I wanted to pick, but I have to stay with my gut and not be a hypocrite. Because second-year players shouldn't get most improved. Because you should improve. But I really want to pick Justin Fields, but I'm not going to. I think Justin Fields gonna have a really special year.
Well, no, he'd be third year.
Oh, third year. I'm tripping. Yeah. Oh, JK, take it back. It is Justin Fields. Justin Fields will be the most improved player because I said before on this here great show that this is his Cam Newton year. I think so, and I'm really gonna stick to that.
You also said he's winning the MVP.
Ooh, that may be a little tough. But I do like Justin Fields as this. I just think I think he's gonna have a lot more controlled offense, and like Lamar, he has like legitimate weapons now. Like, and I'm not a huge fan of Chase Claypool, but I think Claypool's better than what I think the masses think he is. Mooney, Moore, Cole. I like Cole Kmet too a lot. I really like Cole Kmet.
He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, Cole Kmet, he's an animal. So I really like that for Justin Fields. I think he's gonna have a chance to really just and I think the way he ended last year, like the last 7-8 weeks, I think he can really just build on that and just be better off that. My one dark horse outside Justin Fields, I want to give this pick too. I think Jerry Jeudy could win it as well. If Russell Wilson didn't actually throw the ball like a quarterback should, I think Jerry Jeudy can win it because I think Jerry Jeudy had that hype, and I think it kind of died down for some reason. Like he just wasn't good anymore. We just wouldn't have a quarterback who could see and throw the ball. So now I think Jerry Jeudy has a good chance too. If Sean Payton can do to the offense what the masses think he can, I think Jerry Jeudy has a good chance.
I like both.
Definitely.
I like if you went with either one, I like them. Real quick before we go to conference championships, in that same fantasy league I was just referring to, Jacob successfully was gonna trade for Justin Jefferson, and the league vetoed it for I don't want to say no reason. I mean, trading for Justin Jefferson is a fleece as it is, but
What was the trade?
I believe it was T. Higgins and Joe Mixon for Justin Jefferson and Antonio Gibson.
That's not fair.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't do trades in fantasy. I don't want to get into that. I barely know enough as it is. I didn't veto it. I didn't vote on it, but there's some.
let me tell you.
I don't sound too good.
in my fantasy basketball league last year. Let me tell you what happened. My friend already had Luka, and he traded for Jokic.
Yo,
Mind you, triple doubles count in this league. Like, if you get a triple double, it's plus 30. If you get a double double, it's plus 10. He traded. And he did trade Anthony Davis, though. He traded Anthony Davis and somebody else pretty good. But the other person ended up being out for the year. I can't think of who it was. They ended up getting hurt 2 weeks right after it. And then Anthony Davis was in and out until the playoff time. But yeah, he ended up having Jokic and Luka. He ended up drafting Luka, so he traded for Jokic and really only gave up Anthony Davis for real. So that was so out of pocket. That league was unreal.
fantasy.
Unreal. Luka and Jokic is unreal on the same night. And do you know that night that Luka had? I'm sorry, we're not talking about basketball. I'll take it.
60, 20, 10. Yeah, I don't even want to know.
Jokic had 42, 18, and 12 that next day.
Yes,
400 points almost from them too in the playoffs.
so crazy. But we're gonna move on to the conference championship predictions. Chris, would you like to go first on this one? Who are you predicting for the AFC Championship and winner, and then NFC Championship and winner?
Well, AFC Championship. I guess if Lamar's going to have a Super Bowl season, he kind of has to win AFC, right? So,
Okay.
there it is.
Who they playing in there?
Oh, they playing there?
In the AFC Championship.
The Bengals.
Ooh, little divisional action.
Yeah, Ravens.
I always
Bengals.
love a good divisional conference championship. Danny, do you want to go next? Or do you want me to go?
Yeah, Ravens.
I'll go next.
Go ahead.
I agree with you that the Ravens make the AFC Conference Championship, but I think they lose to Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence cements himself to the AFC Super Bowl.
I like that.
I love that we aren't, just going with whatever, or just going with the Chiefs. I like that.
Dude, being
Since you two
realistic,
started.
being
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
realistic, Patrick Mahomes scares me.
He's
That's
inevitable.
all I'll say.
So,
That's all I'll say.
He's inevitable.
He's like Brady, dude. It's gonna take Peyton Manning to have a historic game. Peyton Manning is Trevor Lawrence. He's been compared to Trevor Lawrence since he was
16.
16. Yeah,
Yeah,
and Brady is Mahomes, because dude, this is gonna get bad. It's gonna just be Brady versus the gauntlet every year again.
Well, I'm gonna go with, since you guys started AFC, I'm gonna go AFC. And for those watching, yeah, Mahomes is probably gonna be here. Please just let us have some fun. I'm gonna go with the Chargers
I saw it coming.
versus the Bengals, with the Chargers taking it. I know last year I said they were making the Super Bowl. health wasn't on their side, but I truly believe they can stay healthy. This team can make a Super Bowl. I really believe that.
How mad are you gonna be when you and Jacob have to fight for the Super Bowl?
Look, we not friends for them 2 weeks. We're not gonna be friends, but here we can go Snake on the NFC one.
I know it's next. It's
I would
inevitable
say
for you.
it's my same pick as last year. I'm gonna have the Eagles and Chargers in the Super Bowl. I'll have the Eagles facing. I'm gonna steal a little bit of Chris's flow. I'm gonna go Eagles Cowboys. I'm gonna go with a little divisional Eagles Cowboys to make the Super Bowl. I write the NFL script. That brings in views, Chris.
It was one game away from last year, and then Zeke played center, and then now he's a Patriot.
We were very close. But I'm going to go Philadelphia over Dallas in the NFC Championship game.
I like it.
Nice. Dang.
I'll bounce through second.
Okay.
I think the Philadelphia Eagles will win the NFC again. I think their team is the best on paper. I want to see a Super Bowl from Jalen Hurts. He's my favorite player again. It's not even bias. Their team is just flat out better than a lot of teams in the NFC.
Well, who are they beating?
Who are they playing? The Philadelphia Eagles will be playing. Hear me out.
He about to do something crazy. He gave the Kevin Hart hands. He's
Yeah,
about to
whoa
say something
hands.
diabolical.
Hear me out. This is going to get – y'all not going to like this pick, but the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm with it. I'm so with it. I am so with Geno Smith making an NFC Championship game. I'm so with
It's
that.
just it's so NFL script worthy.
Oh my god, dude, that would be. And they got a squad, like they really do. But hey.
When Jamal Adams is there, dude, their secondary is back. Like their secondary is like elite.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it at all. You said I'd be mad. I ain't mad at it, but
they got the ghost of Kobe Bryant playing slot corner.
They got actually Kobe Bryant playing. But Chris, your NFC Championship game prediction?
It even hurts my soul to even say these words on my mouth. I did some thinking over this. It's about to be
Cowgirls. He hates the Cowgirls.
It is. I really do. But I think they're about to do something special, and it makes me sick to even say that out of my mouth. I think the Cowboys are going to play the 49ers. I want to say the Eagles so bad, but for some...
What do you think? It's the 80s, dude? I know you just turned 30. It's not the 80s anymore, dude.
It's literally a blast from the past. Everybody who loves hard-nosed football and blah, 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 they're going to be happy this year because it's going to be Cowboys, 49ers, and NFC Championship with the Cowboys making it to the Super Bowl to play my Ravens, and the Ravens stump them really badly. That's my prediction.
I would say, yeah, if that gets into our Super Bowl prediction, then Chris's is Ravens over Cowboys.
31-17.
What? That's the same as the Saints Colts Super Bowl. Now that I'm thinking about it. So that means I would say Danny's is Eagles Jags. Doug Peterson playing his former team. I have Eagles Chargers.
And let me make a little prediction. Give me. It's gonna hurt my soul because I'm such a big Jalen Hurts fan, man. Give me Trevor Lawrence taking home the Super Bowl in a 35-31 game.
That
Mike King going 0-2 in Super Bowls before he turns 26. Are we serious?
It's just to build character for him to go 4-0 the next 4. That's all.
No, bro.
Yo, the Eagles are about to repeat Jim Kelly. Like they could legit run through the AFC
Super Bowls and lose all 4. No, that's not happening. They're gonna win this year. They're gonna beat the Chargers in a very good Super Bowl matchup, similar to last year's. Thinking shootout, with essentially this time around, Jalen Hurts gets the ball last. So,
yo, you know what's crazy though? One thing I will say that people don't want to talk about: Patrick Mahomes has gotten hurt in the playoffs a lot. His health is kind of an issue in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Like,
One of these times, he's not going to be so lucky. Not praying injury, of course, never. But
I'm not praying injury. I want him to be healthy, but I think like it's really a concern that people don't want to hear is that Patrick Mahomes could get hurt, and then it's free reign for whoever's in the AFC playoffs.
Yeah, and our picks are all over the place. Our picks are all over the place. I like it.
Eventually, they're gonna have that horse venom is gonna run out, and they're not gonna be able to inject him anymore.
Yeah, the horse like Botox injections. But our last one before we get out of here: who will be the worst team in football?
The worst. I'll let someone else can go first.
The Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to be so bad.
I'll go first, and this is a hot take, and I'm hoping this happens. Now, to put in perspective what I'm about to say, I hoped the Mavs did this like 2 years ago when Anthony Edwards was coming out the draft, so they can pair Anthony Edwards with Luka. I hope that. I'm hoping the Falcons are the worst team in the NFL, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm hoping they're. I don't think they will be, but I hope they will be because I want them to get Caleb Williams and not have Desmond Ridder. So that's my hope. The Cardinals are going to be the worst team in the NFL for sure. They're going to be really bad. I'm going to go and make sure of it when I go root. Cardinals are going to be bad. But I want the Falcons to be bad so that you can have Caleb Williams and Bijan back there and with Drake London. That's what I want. That's what I want. But
what's going to happen is this a team in that division named the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have absolutely zero talent, lost their Hall of Fame center, and have Baker Mayfield taking the snaps, throwing to a rookie wide receiver. I like their offense, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and rookie wide receiver, but like that team is either going to win the division at 8-9 or win 4 games.
Hey, no talent on a team with 53 grown men is the funniest thing I've heard all day. That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. I can see the Bucs being really bad. Winning, I don't know if their ceiling's winning that division just because the more I look at it, the more the Saints should just kind of run away with this. But yeah, so Danny has Bucks. Me and Chris have Cards, but Chris is hoping for the Falcons to be the worst team in football.
Dude, could you not see that? Wouldn't that be the beautiful, like, just young player trifecta? You got your receiver, you get
4.
Caleb Willie.
Trifecta, dude.
Yeah, I'll say they got Tyler Algier, they got Bijan, Drake London,
Kyle Pitts is there. You just see the vision.
I guess Kyle Pitts going to be a seasoned veteran by the time that would happen.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts being your vet is crazy.
Absolutely.
And I was like, we're kind of wrapped up here, but one last thing that I wanted to say, DeAndre Ayton has been like dating an adult film star for apparently since 2019. Someone thought it was okay to give Book a random stray. They say this is what happens when Devin Booker is your vet. I'm like, what did he do? Like, just think about that. Like, Devin Booker is 26 now. He's somebody's vet. Like, literally. Jason Tatum is 25. He's somebody's vet. Brandon Ingram's 25. He's somebody's vet.
Jason Tatum was somebody's vet at 23, I fear. Like, he was mentoring people.
Nah, he was somebody's vet at like 22. Like 22, 23, bro. Yeah, he was really somebody's vet. That's crazy to think
about. Y'all want to know the nastiest turn of events is going to happen? When, I'm sorry, Danny, you got to hear this, but when James Harden puts on his fat suit and then Embiid acts out, and then Tyrese Maxey is the one leading the way in Philly, teaching everybody the ropes. That's gonna be
he dropped 30 ball a game.
Oh yeah,
I need that. Well. Sixers going 8-74 with Tyrese. Come on, Tyrese 20, 25, 27 points per game.
And then give me my boy from Maine, whatever.
Cooper Flag. Yeah, you tank for Cooper
Flag. Tank for Cooper.
And then you take the next year for AJ. You take 2 years in a row.
Cooper Flag is, bro. Come on, bro. He's such a Celtic.
Dude, don't lie, dude. Cooper Flag and my boy Tyrese Maxey would feed families.
Yeah, I'm one of those families. Cooper Flag from the area, so you know he's gonna be a Boston Celtic.
Yeah, guess what? Smitty from the area too, but he's not a Patriot.
He like the Celtics though, and that's why I love Smitty. I love Smitty. And he don't like Wawa meatball subs, and that's real.
They're banging, dude.
No. See, this is why me and Smitty the same. We don't like meatball subs, but we love the honey turkey there.
Yo,
Me and Smitty are
if
we
y'all,
win for real.
I'll end it with this. If
Go ahead.
y'all need a fire chicken sandwich, I haven't had it yet, but I heard Chick-fil-A just dropped the best chicken sandwich of all time.
It is very, very delectable.
Not,
I've
not
had it.
Popeyes. What are you talking about?
Incredible.
No, dude, they dropped this like honey
Yeah, I
pimento
saw it.
chicken sandwich. Oh my god, it looks to die for.
I'm gonna have to try it tomorrow then.
I
Once we
fear.
get done. out
Oh,
of
guess
that
what?
game.
Guess what?
What?
There's a Chick-fil-A on the way, dude.
See, now look what you did. All right. Well,
Let's
thank you
leave it
guys for
there.
tuning in to our NFL award predictions. This is a very lengthy episode, but it's a lot of content for you guys to catch up with, whether you're driving to school or, just bored and you want to watch a podcast. Make sure you like and
Feeding your
subscribe if you're
dog.
watching on YouTube. Yeah, if you're feeding your dog, you know what I'm saying? You can play it in the background on Apple Pods. But yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching this on YouTube, head on over to the audio platforms. Make sure you hit download, like, and share the episode with your friend as well. Leave us a 5-star rating. We continue the appreciated support as always from AP New Freezer, Culture 2 by Migos, and DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.